Without further ado, Scott is truly one of the most eloquent and most intelligent members of Parliament. He is our critic for trade. He's been a minister in the Crown when Paul Martin was Prime Minister, and I remember both of us were standing when Paul was Prime Minister. We were standing together, ready to go into the House, and it was a time when we were having a vote where our government could have fallen. And both of us looked at each other, and remember, Scott, we said to each other, no matter what comes down the pipe after this vote, we're really happy to be members of the Liberal Party. And both of us came from another place. And based on what we've seen Mr. Harper do, we are really happy, and I'm really happy, I'm sure. Scott. But like I said, at that time, we just said, no matter what happens, whatever comes down the pipe, we made a very good decision. We're very happy to be in the Liberal Party, and we're very thankful. So without much further ado, one of my partners in crime, the Honourable Scott Brison. Scott.
I gotta tell you, when I travel the world and participate in international conferences, when I talk to people in Africa, where Keith has spent a lot of time making a real difference in the lives of people, when I talk to people in Africa, they say, where's Canada on the issue of maternal health, and how can you have a maternal health plan for the developing world that doesn't provide women in the developing world the same right to maternal health that you provide to your own citizens in Canada? And I find it very, very difficult to answer the question, because for a lot of us, the reason we choose to get engaged in politics, not just people who are members of Parliament or who are candidates to become members of Parliament, all of us, every one of us, volunteers, people who make it happen, people who do their hard work, the slogging in the good days and the tough days, we do it because we want to make a difference, and we want to see Canada move forward. And it sickens each and every one of us to have a Prime Minister who's pulling Canada backwards. There was a time when Americans looked north and see a government that was more progressive, more environmentally responsible, more innovative, more forward-thinking. And now, in Canada, as citizens, we're looking south. And we're seeing a government in the Obama administration, President Obama, who's invested 14 times on a per capita basis what we have invested in green technology over the last year, in greening their economy and taking this their stimulus package, instead of just using it to buy votes, but they've used it to build a more productive, competitive and greener economy for the future. A more progressive government, a government that is taking the step to move forward with innovative health care and modernizing. After 7 presidents tried to get it done, they're actually taking a step forward, which is remarkable. We have the less progressive government here in Canada, and they have a more progressive one. This economic crisis worries me greatly, because I think that it's far from over. The recession is not an ordinary recession. This is a global economic restructuring. And it's a shame to waste a good crisis, because it's during good crisis throughout history that smart governments, smart entrepreneurs made smart decisions which brought them forward. So there's economic reasons, there's environmental reasons, there's social reasons why we need a new government in Ottawa. Liberal Party and our members of Parliament, I got to tell you, Keith is a terrific member of Parliament. He's a member of Parliament who is a credit to the House of Commons. He's somebody who is not drawn to politics to fill in time. He's drawn to politics to make a real difference, and he's making a real difference. His expertise on issues, particularly issues that on the developing world, but not on, Keith is a generalist. He understands almost every area of public policy. We talk about public policy, and he craves the debate and the whole debate of important ideas and making a difference. And what I like most about Keith is he's not an ideologue. He doesn't live in the world of ideology. He lives in the world of ideas, and that's what I really value about his friendship and his contribution. But our party has the capacity to attract really great people to public life and to our party. When I talk to Chris, when I talk to Renee, they're the kinds of people who we need in public life, who can make a real difference and will make great members of Parliament. People who've offered ideas, who have contributed to the public discourse and environment, who are making a difference in municipal politics, people who really want to make a difference for Canada. Compare that to the Prime Minister we have. There's two kinds of ambition. You're either ambitious to do or ambitious to be. Canada has a Prime Minister today who's ambitious to be. He wants to be Prime Minister. On the other hand, we have a leader who's ambitious to do. Michael Ignatieff wants to make a real difference in the lives of Canadians. We've been working hard. We've been developing the kinds of ideas that can bring Canada forward. It's not good enough for us just to attack Stephen Harper. It's easy, it's fun, but we can't just attack Stephen Harper. We've got to tell Canadians what we stand for, what we believe in. And whether it's on rural health care or internet for rural Canada, on policies to modernize and strengthen our pension system. Canadians are worried about their pension systems. We've been providing the kinds of clear policy ideas, forward-thinking, innovative, bold ideas that are important for the future of Canadians. We're going to continue to do that. We're going to have a platform that's going to speak to the aspirations and the dreams of Canadians, not just to the fears, but to the dreams of Canadians. 2 weeks from now is the annual Kingsport parade in my riding. And it was the Kingsport parade that a few years ago, it was the 2004 election, my first election as a Liberal. A little kid dressed up as a clown came up to me, and he was with his mom, and he looked up at me and he said, "Are you the Scott Brison on the signs?" This was just 2 days before the election. I said, "Yes, I am." He said, "You've got more signs than anybody." And I said, "Is that so?" And he said, "You're going to win." And I said, "Well, that's really nice of you to say." And then he said, "My father thinks you're an idiot." And then there was a time a few years ago, I was in the Sobeys store in Windsor, Nova Scotia. And one of the things in a rural riding, it takes a long time to go anywhere because you have to say hello to everybody, and in politics in general. I mean, you know, it's nice to. It's even, you know, it takes me an hour to buy milk and orange juice at Sobeys. But I was at Sobeys on a Saturday night, and this woman, I bumped into her in the butcher section, and I said, "Hi, how are you?" And she said, "Fine, thanks." And I bumped into her again in the produce section. I said, "It was a lovely day, wasn't it?" And she said, "Yeah, it was very nice." And then I bumped into her again over in bakery, and I said, "It's supposed to be nice again tomorrow." She turned to me and she said, "You know, you're very friendly." I said, "Yeah, well, thank you." She said, "How long you worked here?" It's good in our line of work to know that there's an exit strategy. And then it was, I think, the 2006 election. What I actually said that night was, "We can't let that miserable son of a bitch become Prime Minister." I'm almost certain I said that. But he did. And he is. I was in a restaurant and I was campaigning, going table to table, saying hello to people. And there was one table that had 4 women sitting at it, and 3 were really nice. And one was just cold as hell. And she refused to shake my hand, which is a pretty good sign. And she said to me, she said, "I don't think much of this same-sex marriage stuff." Why? I said, "Well, look, we will never tell, you know, a church or mosque or synagogue or temple how to define religious marriage. This is civil marriage, it's not religious marriage." And I said, "It says right in the Bible, render unto Caesar that which belongs to Caesar, and render unto God that which belongs to God." See, I've had to memorize enough biblical stuff to defend myself against Leviticus. And so this is Caesar. This is Caesar. So I mean, even consistent with the Bible. We will always protect the right for an individual church to define religious marriage as they will, but in terms of civil marriage, we have a right to, or responsibility to respect the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. She said, "Well, if that's your position on same-sex marriage," he said, "you will not be getting my vote." And I said, "Well, if that's your position on same-sex marriage, you won't be invited to my wedding." And we love what we do. And it really doesn't feel like work to us because we are, every day we wake up dealing with issues that are important to Canadians, that are important to us. We have an opportunity on an ongoing basis to talk about and to deal with the debate and to develop the kinds of ideas that can make a difference for the future. But we would not be able to do this without all of you. And I want to thank each and every one of you for your commitment to the Liberal Party, your engagement as citizens, your commitment to Canada.